Hello, I'm Pastor Dave, and this is your Monday morning sermon recap for July 26th, 2021. Here we go. This week we started our multi-week series on King David. Specifically, we're looking at not just the story that we know so well, the story we've been taught since we were little kids, but looking at the lessons that we can take from David's life for our lives today, because there are valuable lessons there. Now, this week we were looking at David and Goliath, that famous story that transcends our faith. Now, in this part of David's life, there is one very clear story, and it's a story we know from when we first hear it. And that is, God can use unexpected people. David was a boy, more likely a teenager. He was not a great warrior. He wasn't even with the army at the beginning of the narrative. He was the youngest son, typically the least important. David was the last person anyone would believe would kill Goliath. We would expect Saul or some other great warrior. But God used the least expected, something God does often. But along with that great lesson, there's another part to it, and that really tells more about us in society than anything else, and that is the fact that what the world sees as valuable is not what God sees as valuable. In this case, the world would say you need a great warrior, tall, strong, well-trained. Think someone like Saul. That's not who God picked. Instead, God picked basically a teenager with little training, whose only experience was fighting off wild animals while watching the flock. But yet, David was faithful. David was true to God and was willing to step up and do the task when no one else is willing to do it. And that's where we start to see other lessons that come from David's life. Ones that we can relate to as we grow older. And one of them is the fact that we should stand up for what we believe in face of fear. Goliath was mocking Israel, was mocking God. None of the great warriors of Israel were standing up to Goliath. Saul, the king, wasn't even going out to fight Goliath. Yet David did. And we should be encouraged by that and to do the same when we face challenges in our life. We should meet them with faith, not fear. And from his life, we can also see that we should be contented and comfortable with the tools we have. We all use different tools in our lives. I mean, I'm using technology right now as a tool. I'm comfortable with what I'm using, which is how we should all be. Just like David was comfortable with his sling and the stones as opposed to armor, swords, and shields. We should use what we have and what we're comfortable using and not seek out what others say is necessary. And of course, there's the overarching lesson from this. And that is that overall we need to trust God as David did and not place our trust in the worldly. Not to place our trust in our culture, not even in one another, but truly place it in God. When we can do that, we can defeat the giants that we face in our life because we're meeting them through faith and not our fears. So that's your recap for this week. Remember, we worship at 8:45 at East Salem, 10:15 at Otterbein. We live stream the East Salem service at 8:45 on the East Salem UMC Facebook page. And we also post the sermon on YouTube as well. But until next Sunday, I'm Pastor Dave, and I hope to see you in the pew.